Right, well, being tarnished in the media continues for Russell Brand. BBC is removing Russell Brand's content for, and I quote, falling below public expectations. In whose eyes? Which part of the public? Because there's a massive contingent that thinks the BBC, Channel 4, The Times, etc. are full of shit. So which part of the public are you referring to? Which public's expectations? So we'll dive into this today. I would highly recommend you check out my previous video on this because Dispatches, the presumably incredible journalist department at Channel 4, who are investigating a 4-year investigation, chose not to reveal key information, like that 16-year-old now works for Channel 4. Pretty important information, quite frankly. Also, the fact that they didn't actually investigate Channel 4 directly. They didn't speak to the production company behind the shows that Russell Brand was working on. You'd think, being accused of this behaviour during his work time, you'd think you'd actually speak to those people, but they didn't. So now they're investigating it themselves. 4 years, you couldn't do that. I press X to doubt on a lot of this stuff. Then I really am going to my skepticism on the sort of legitimacy of this investigation is riding right high now. So anyway, let's dive into this. Right, the BBC has followed Channel 4's lead by removing TV and audio shows that feature Russell Brand. Now this is what they say: we've reviewed the content and made a considered decision to remove some of it, having assessed that it now falls below public expectation. So the spokesperson for the BBC. They added that the BBC does not ban or remove content when it is a matter of public record unless we have justification for doing so. There's no criminal charges going on ahead. Loads of people pointed out to me, well, someone's come forward to the police. They have, but the police isn't even investigating it at this point in time. So what does that tell you about the potential evidence at play here? Not a lot. So the BBC did not say which shows have been removed, but an episode of QI titled The Occult that Brand was guest on is no longer on BBC iPlayer. An edition of the Joe Wicks podcast with Brand appears to have been removed from BBC Sounds. Okay. Now this is interesting because the BBC followed Channel 4's lead on the move. Channel 4 yesterday removed old episodes of Big Brother's Big Mouth and the Great British Bake Off. Big Brother, ladies and gents, is renowned for having highly sexually charged content on their programme. There's literally a dating programme, Naked Attraction, where people just get their bits out on primetime TV. Fantastic. Good, I guess. That's fine. Not only that, I think there's also something called Naked Education, where people expose themselves to children as well. Oh, not only that, the BBC, Channel 4, ITV, etc., are renowned for purporting incredible lies and also just general propaganda. Most people can see through a lot of what is going on and what general mainstream media has been saying lately. Now, Big Brother, like Channel 4's decision to remove all this stuff, I think is the most egregious, and also the BBC, in fairness. It's just nonsense. You're persecuting someone. There's no, like, look, both broadcasters, along with Big Brother producer Banijay, are investigating historical allegations. So sorry, ladies and gents. As I said previously, and I did it in my previous video, the fact that no journalist has picked up on this should tell you quite a lot about the about the coordinated effort to take Russell Brand down. I don't even like Russell Brand, for goodness sake. I'm defending him. But it's clearly a coordinated effort to take him down. No journalist has reported on the fact that during a 4-year investigation, 4 years they were investigating Russell Brand, no one chose to speak to the BBC or Channel 4 or Banijay, the production company. And now they find this stuff has happened. They are investigating it themselves. Wow. That should be a huge red flag to anyone with a brain. I cannot get over that. I can't get over the fact no journalist has stated that yet. It is incredible. And that should tell you everything you need to know. No one has said that their investigation can't have been all that. Why? Because the companies themselves are going to have to investigate now, because no one liaised with one another. No journalist from the great dispatchers came to speak to them. Anyway, whatever. Now, look, at the end of I had some bizarre claims as like leveled against me as well. They were like, "Oh, you're defending a sex pest. That's probably because you are." No, that's such a moronic claim. I'm on the side that I don't think anyone should be torn apart in the media for, not cancelled by the media in this regard, when there's no criminal investigation underway. That there's literally no investigation by the police at the current point in time of recording this video. No police is investigating it. So what are we all doing while we're running around in mass hysteria over Russell Brand? No one's bothered to report the fact that 16-year-old now works for Channel 4. That's a bit suspect, right? Now, would he have done disgusting things back in his time as a sex addict and a drug addict? Yeah, of course he would have. Absolutely. Does it make it right? No, of course it doesn't. Does, what he did with the 16-year-old, is that right or wrong? At the end of the day, legality side of it, perfectly legal actually in the UK. Morally, yeah, it's pretty bloody gross. Of course it is. It is pretty gross. But is it illegal? Is it enough to tarnish someone and remove them from public life in such a draconian way? No, I don't think so. I think the mere fact that the 16-year-old now works at Channel 4 tells you everything you need to know. And also, all the other people, I think aside from one person anyway, had previous consenting relations with Russell Brand. There was one part of the report, this incredible documentary and investigation, where someone was like, "Oh yeah, he exposed himself to me. But yeah, later I went round his house." What are you doing? Are we removing all autonomy from everyone now in this situation? It's absolutely bizarre. But whatever. It's strange to me why the media needed someone to present to you as someone to hate. Something's going on. This is not like all conspiracy theorists. The investigation is a joke. That's very clear. I've demonstrated that. They've demonstrated that. The fact that no one's reporting on very key specific elements of this as cause for, there should be an opposing journalistic element here where people are going, well, actually, you probably should have done this. Why didn't you do this? Where's that? And also, like I've said before in one of my first videos on all of this, where is the headline after headline after article and systematic cancellation of individuals from public life that have actually done much, much worse than this? Where? Because I don't see it. And that tells you everything you need to know as well. And I think that's shocking to me.